Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have another diamond in the rough for you. His name is Xavier Malone. He's a wide receiver out of Henderson State. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
So, for people who don't know, I mean, we got a very good wide receiver who put up some gaudy numbers this past season, ended up being an All-American. But before we get talking about more about you and the success that you've had with your program, tell me first where you're from and kind of walk me through your journey a bit.
Yeah, so I'm from Mississippi, small town Mississippi, named Mountain Bayou, population about 1,500. Um, Grew up there until I was about 12, then moved. So graduated from Lake Cormer High School and ended up going to JUCO route in Northeast Mississippi.
Gotcha. And then eventually got there to Henderson. So let's kind of go back and I guess fill in some of the blanks that in there. So again, Mound Bayou, Mississippi. There at I'm trying to read my notes. Lake Cormorant. Is that what
Yeah,
it is? Lake
yeah,
Cormorant.
Lake Cormer.
Lake Cormorant High School. Talk to me about you there at your high school and what you were able to accomplish back in those days.
Um, I was team captain. Um, I was slow, like 5 flat slow. Clocked like a 4.5 senior year, then start running track. Mississippi All-State receiver, played special teams receiver, 1,000-yard season. Yeah, that's pretty much how I went.
Okay. You said you did some track.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How did that work out for you? Did that help your game or what?
Um, Not really. I just did it because the coaches was like, run track, it'll get you faster. So I ran track and I made it to like regionals and without using the block. So I was coming out in like 40 stances. I got the regionals, everybody using blocks and just smoked me. So I mean, it was a lesson learned. I'll do it again though.
But at the very least, it's probably something that you use just to kind of better your game as a football player, right?
Yeah,
So,
yes, sir. On the
um,
speed.
of course, of course. So, I ask a lot of guys this, almost everybody actually, and that is, obviously you chose to pursue the game of football. So what is it you like most about this game? Why do you love it so much?
I think it's just like building relationships with people, overcoming things and just working hard. Like, I was the underdog all my life. So I just took that as a chip on the shoulder and just kept proving people wrong. So
Gotcha. And then of course, after your days there in high school, you ended up going the JUCO route. A lot of guys have different reasons for going JUCO, but I mean, there is some good talent in JUCO. People really need to acknowledge that. But what I talk to guys about when they do go JUCO is I realize it's no joke. It really tests you and your will and your character. Can you give me just a general feel about your time there in JUCO?
yeah, so like you said, it's no joke. I remember like the first time I ever threw up from anything was in JUCO, like passing out after spring practice one day. Yeah, so it's not easy at all. It just it build characters and show what type of guy you are to make it through JUCO. That's why, like when I came here, I was telling everybody like this is easy compared to what we was doing in JUCO. So like it just I don't know, it's just a different feel.
Right. So what was it like in JUCO? I mean, what were you able to accomplish there as a player?
Really, I feel like I couldn't just do too much in JUCO because like how it is, like you got your sophomores that's already there. So like when I came in, I was behind a sophomore. He ended up breaking his leg like the fifth game. So me and this other freshman, we was splitting reps, and I started starting in sophomore season, like had like 27 catches with 600 some yards. I feel like I'm 1,000-yard guy. every time so I was not happy about that. So yeah, but what I accomplished, I got my AA degree, made some lifelong friends, still talk to them to this day. And I just feel like it just made me a better man.
Great. And then eventually, after your time there in JUCO, you got to Henderson. How'd that work out? Were they the only ones who offered you, or what? I mean, do you have any other opportunities?
Um, it's funny actually because I graduated JUCO December 2019, but I decided to like stay that the next semester to try to get an offer. So I attended like Ole Miss, like they little walk on meeting. I wasn't like, nah. I might, if I'm gonna walk on, I might just go somewhere financially. So Wayne State in Nebraska had offered me full ride. I got up there and I was like, dang, it's nothing up here. Like I'm 16 hours away from home. I don't have no car. Nobody else got no car up here. So like I'm like, man, 45 minutes to the Walmart. So I'm like, I might as well just go somewhere else like closer. So I called Coach Max. It's like they don't have no money. So I walked on here.
So you walked on to Henderson. So I'm assuming eventually you did get a scholarship though there, right?
Yes, sir. I like when money freed up, so like that next semester, well, the end of the semester, I started getting money.
Nice. So share that one story about like how that actually happened. Like how you found that out, how they were saying, you know what, now we're gonna pay for some of that tuition.
Okay, yeah. So I came in, I was like a five, practicing on the other field, but I already knew in my head like I'm better than most of these guys here. So, I just took that with a grain of salt, and he was like, move them up the next day. So I moved up to a three. And then like it was like, okay, now we got to start finding plays and opportunities to get him the ball. So yeah, end of this semester, we had our exit meetings. He was like, oh, we're gonna give you money. And then after that, just kept on like adding on.
Nice. So I mean, you get your opportunity there at Henderson State, and really just roll with it, man. I mean, you do a great job. I mean, being all conference a couple times over, which is really nice. So um, let's talk about you as a wide receiver. So when you were a little kid, man, I mean, who were you looking up to? Like, who were you a big fan of at the next level?
Um, Randy, um, I like Percy Hart. Percy Harden probably I had like a little Vikings jersey. We used to have little pickup games, and I used to always wear his jersey or Adrian Peterson jersey when I played. So yeah, I looked up.
Crazy. Um, Probably more so similar to Percy Harvin. I mean, if I had to say something of that nature, because I mean, you're just one of these quick twitch guys who can, really, take the top off of defenses. Um, so go ahead and talk to me about that offense there at Henderson State, man. How have they utilized you throughout your time there?
I came in as an outside the first year, um, and then I got moved to slot. I think it was like one day before fall count, like we move you to slot. So it was like get all the plays, slot plays, and then 2 days before the game, the first game, the ex receiver he had COVID, so I had to go back to outside and learn his position. So I did that, and then like he came back. I was starting this slot, and then like they just started me at outside and slot because he wasn't producing. So I mean, I liked it. I was catching bubbles and out route. This is where all my yards came from was like short game and had to pick up yak. So
Right. So, what would you say is your favorite play? Like, when you're in a huddle and this one play is called, what's the one play you love here?
uh, probably like I was just like a fade. Just give me a fade. You know, keep it simple. I like some double moves like post corners, but nothing beat the fade. Just killing the guy and then just scoring at will.
Cool, cool. What do you feel separates you from the rest of the wide receiver prospects out there, man? I mean, obviously, you're pursuing the pros right now. I mean, you put together some great numbers at your pro day. But what do you feel separates you from all the other guys out there?
Well, obviously like speed, but um, it just like being from Mississippi, you got to have a certain type of character, like like people call it the dog in you, but I feel like I got that dog in me, Like I just want more for myself, If I see somebody outworking me, then now we in competition, I don't think I'm just no pushover and I ain't gonna let it happen. So most people come from these big schools and I'm coming from a smaller school that would they think separate us. So that's what's on my mind, proving them wrong.
Gotcha. So Xavier, um, as I was going through like all these pro days numbers for like all these wide receivers, I mean, I saw yours and they popped. That you did a phenomenal job at your pro day. At least in my notes, you ran a 4.3540, which is really good. Um, 36-inch vertical, 10.5 broad jump, and even 15 bench reps for a guy your size ain't too shabby. So, talk to me about how you feel you did there at your pro day.
Yeah, so it was in the morning, and like I was up at like 6 warming up. It was like at 9 we had to be there. When I was like doing the bench, no, I think first we did the vertical. I never jumped a 36. So I'm like, okay, I like this. So I got on bench and during training the whole time I've been like benching probably like 10 reps and then just calling it quit. But I knew I had more in me. So I was doing the bench, I was just I didn't hear nothing. I'm just doing it. I get to like 14 and I'm like, get it up, 15. I snapped my chain. And I was like, I'm feeling good about that. The 40, like I said, my 10 was like a 153, and I still ran a 4.3. So it's like it just showed me that I could have ran way faster. Um, 10.5 broad. I never jumped. I always was like a 9.8 guy. I was like 10.5. Shocked myself pro day. So I'm pretty happy with it.
So, how did you get there, man? How did you train yourself up for that pro day?
Yeah, so like just going in Henderson weight room and going back. So what I was doing, I was going to Dallas one weekend and then I was going to Mississippi because the speed trainer in Mississippi, he was coaching me when I was younger in high school to when I was running that 5 flat I told you about. Got me down to like a 4.5. So I went to him. He was correcting some things. I was feeling pretty good. I was clocking faster than what I clocked at pro day. So, but like when I got up there, it was just everything just went out the window. It was like just run. So that's why I say I was mad about that. Yeah, on the weight room side, I was just doing it on my own. Like I knew I could. I knew I was strong bench wise, so I wasn't really worried about that. Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, again, for a guy pumping out 225, who's what, maybe 180,
yeah,
right?
183. I weighed in. Yeah, sir.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a really good accomplishment in my opinion, man. I mean, that really shows that you actually have put in work in the weight room. So, I mean, you're not just a speed guy. So, I like that about you. After that pro day was all over with, man, I mean, what was happening, man? Did you get approached by some scouts or what?
Yeah, like after that, I started getting calls. I know the Rams they was asking for my film, and like they was the only scout there. He was the only scout working it. So I'm like, okay, I can't, let that get me down. I'm just gonna control what I can control. Film get around, word of mouth. So yeah, I ran the 40, did all that, and I think the pro day was Thursday. Yeah, pro day was that Thursday. I started getting phone calls Monday. Like,
Well,
hello, hello.
that's all it takes, man. I mean, from what I've heard, if you could run a 4.3, you're gonna get your opportunity at the next level. And so with that being said, I mean, um, bro, you're an NFL prospect right now. I mean, you're going to get your opportunity somewhere. Um, how are you taking all that in? I mean, where's your head at right now with the fact that you are that NFL prospect that you are?
At first it was like overwhelming, like just like you know, one day you wake up and your dreams right in your face. So I just had to come back down to earth. It all felt unreal, but I just can't get too happy because it's just like this the first stage of it. Like I might be getting phone calls, but until I sign a piece of paper, that's when I like cry. I haven't cried about the situation yet, and my mom was like, "Oh, you crazy? You been dreaming about this for so long? Like the stuff you went through to get here, like." Nothing happened yet. So like we still in the stages of it. So when it all said and done, then I'll be happy. But right now, we're just being humble.
Yeah, right now we're just waiting. Obviously we're going to figure that out in the coming weeks and months, but uh Xavier, you put together actually a really good resume, man. I mean, maybe people knock you on the size, because I mean that's something that you obviously don't have any you know any say in. I mean, that's kind of how God made you, right? But you're able to put together some solid film, great All-American season, almost 1,400 yards receiving this past year, which is crazy. Walk me through one of your best highlights, man, whether it be a game or a play or something. What do you remember most as a college athlete?
I say against our rival school across the street, last game, I finally got my first throwing touchdown. Yeah, I had the option to throw it or run it. Like I had the running lane, but I was like, nah, my tight end, like, was one of my close friends. I was like, he haven't got a touchdown like in like 5 games. So I'm gonna help both of us. I'm gonna get my first throwing touchdown and I'm gonna give him a touchdown. So I just threw it, he caught it, and the crowd was going crazy. So I think that's probably my most memorable one.
Awesome. Well, obviously, also one of your last memories there
Yeah, it was.
for Henderson. So, cool, cool. So other than the fact that you're this speedy wide receiver who can get open and also occasionally throw some good balls down the field, what do you feel people need to know about you, man? Tell me something about you that's not football, whether it be your hobbies, personal interests, or anything you got going on in your life. Give me something.
Um, well, I like playing the game, Call of Duty. I like cars. Just chilling with my family. Um, I think family is the most important thing to me. As a kid, seeing everybody break away, leaving this side. So yeah, I think family probably is my top thing.
Gotcha. You said you're a big car guy. So let's just say money's no object, man. I mean, if you have the opportunity, what's that dream car?
Ah, dream car. I don't. If money no object, then I don't know. I like supercars, but like I'm big on muscle cars, so I might just go to GT 500 Mustang. Something something like that.
That'll work. I appreciate that one.
Yeah.
Um, what else about your hometown are you willing to talk to me about, man? What does it make? Why is it so special for you? I mean, like if I were to come visit like that small town of yours, is there something that we'd have to do or some place we'd have to go?
No, that's why I love it so much because it's nothing to do. It just being in it is like it's a drive to like you want to better your life. Like I got it tattooed on me just to remind me like where I came from. They say never forget where you come from, and that's another big thing to me. Like seeing the things my parents and they parents had to go through to try to better my life is the reason why like I go how I go, to better their life. So
And is there anything else that you want to share, man? I mean, any what motivates you the most, man?
family. family. Family and being denied, being, saying that I couldn't for so long. People, who would ever thought it would be me? This small kid, I'm undersized. Like, I wasn't known for being fast. I was just known for making plays, and I was just a guy that played football because like this is what I like to do. But they was like, why is he playing football? My family was like, why is you still playing football? Like, do you have a plan B? Like, and I don't want no plan B. This is my plan A, and this is gonna happen.
Right. Well, I mean, I know you're preparing for that moment. That moment's going to happen for you here soon. I mean, I know you love this game, and you're just kind of, waiting for your opportunity. Um, as we close up shop with this interview, I want to give you an opportunity to talk to all them scouts, man. Tell them why they sleeping on you, why they need to draft you, sign you, bring you in, make you a part of their team. So, go ahead and close us with that.
Yeah, they are sleeping on me, size, but they can go. The numbers out there, film don't lie. 21 yards a catch, was scoring the ball every fourth time I caught the ball. So, I mean, there's just something to put in your brain of how explosive my game is. And I don't go down on the first tackler. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, definitely a worker, a guy who's proven himself, knows how to be a winner, can get downfield, a reliable target, and can be utilized in a lot of different ways. I mean, you talked about you being a slot receiver, you being able to play out wide, and I'm sure if given the ball in your hands, like on special teams, you could, be a good playmaker as well. So, but just kind of want to wish you all the best, okay, in your endeavors, okay?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sure, no problem. Xavier Malone, wide receiver, Henderson State. Check this guy out.
Check me out. You won't regret it.